ilm and knowledge is a lot. There are so many levels of knowledge, and it would not be logical for laymen like you and me to acquire specifics and little things that only great scholars of Islam may have knowledge of. But at the same time, it is not at all accepted for a Muslim to be ignorant of the basics of Islam. Unfortunately, today, the basics of Islam are unknown to the vast majority of Muslims. And this is sad. In my counseling sessions, I usually ask, it's one-to-one. So when people come to me, I acknowledge and identify their problem. So I ask them a question. And I say, what are the pillars of Iman? 95%, imagine the percentage, 95% would say Shahada, Salah, Saum, and I think Zakah. What do you think of this answer? Right or wrong? Wrong. And I say to them, wrong answer. This is not the definition of Iman. This is the definition of the pillars of Islam. And you missed one. So say, pillars of Iman? I've never heard of this. 95% of the Muslims say, we've never heard of this. What does this tell you? It tells you that we have a problem in the basics that each and every Muslim should know. I'm not telling you to tell me about the types of riba. You may not deal with money and transactions, so you're not obliged to know this. It's not mandatory upon you. I'm not telling you, tell me now about the difference of tamattu', qiran, and ifrad in Hajj. Sheikh, I'm not going for Hajj. My slot comes in 15 years. Yes, you're not obliged to know it. I'm not asking you to tell me what is the threshold of zakat of corn, or of 100 cows, or of 2,000 camels. What's the threshold and what is the zakah? I don't have any. I don't even know a cow from a camel if I see one, let alone to know what is zakah. These are not mandatory upon you at the moment. But essential things of Islam, they're mandatory. Such as to know in prayer, what are the pillars, what are the mandatory obligations, and what are the sunnah. Why is it mandatory? So that I can know when to prostrate for sahu. If I prayed Asr 3 rak'ahs and I left home, oh, I forgot. Yalla, I'll pray 2 sujood al-sahu. Valid? Invalid. I dropped a pillar, which means that the whole building has collapsed. Obligatory is different than pillars, is different than sunnah. These are some of the things you have to know. Among the things we must know is the Hadith of Jibreel. When he came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he asked him, he came in the form of a human being, the companions were sitting, they saw a man, white clothes, black hair, no trace of traveling, yani no dust, nothing. And at the same time, none of us know him. They didn't have any hotels at the time, so they should have recognized him. He should have stayed with someone, but this guy was unknown to them. He asked, Muhammad, tell me what is Islam? 5 pillars. What is Iman? 6 pillars. What is Ihsan? 1 pillar. These are the essentials, because the Prophet said afterwards, do you know who that was? They said, no. He said, that was Jibreel. What did he come to do? He came to teach you your religion, which means that this is your religion that you have to know. When we speak about Iman, Iman is a tighter circle. The bigger circle is Islam. All of you are Muslims, in the sense that you believe in the Shahada, you pray, you fast, you do zakah, you will perform Hajj inshallah. These are pillars that we can see. What's in your heart, Allah knows about it. The bigger circle has an inner circle, which by default, all those in the inner circle are Muslims. But because they are selected individuals, they are also mu'min. They have Iman. But what is Iman? Iman fluctuates, goes up and down. Islam is steady. Either you're a Muslim or... I know it's early in the morning and some of you might fall asleep, but try to wake up, because I am more sleepy than you. I'm over 60, خلاص, I take a nap every 5 minutes. So if I doze off, you guys wake me up. So, Islam, either you're a Muslim or there is no middle way. So, I'm a seasonal Muslim. No, you're either Muslim or a kafir. However, when you go to the inner circle of Iman, this is different. It fluctuates. And this is why it increases with deeds that are good and decreases with sins. What is the evidence? Why do you need evidence? Because I have so many people on the internet, on TikTok, saying that Iman is one wholesome. Either it's there or it's not. And these are the far extreme. We have the Khawarij. You know the Khawarij. The Khawarij is a deviant sect and cult. They say Iman is one whole lump sum. Either it exists, you're a mu'min. Or if you do one major sin, if you lie, if you fornicate, if you do drugs, if you drink alcohol, if you deal in riba, this is a major sin, your Iman is gone. You're not a Muslim. And you are in hell forever, for eternity. These are known as what? Khawarij. On the far right or left, there is another deviant cult and sect, well known in Islam, called Al-Murji'ah. Al-Murji'ah says, yes, Iman is a whole lump sum. But it can never be dissolved or broken or diminished. Either you have it or you don't have it. And we believe if you do anything on earth, even if you don't pray, if you don't fast, if you don't perform Hajj, if you fornicate, if you drink wine, if you do drugs, if you do the most heinous sins in Islam, as long as you have Iman in your heart, you're a Muslim, you're a mu'min. The same concept, that Iman either is there or not there, but different opposite views. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, who we are all part of, believe that Iman goes up in peaks and goes down in valleys. And this is mentioned in the Quran. Any blind man can read it. Why did not these two blind sects read it? Because when shaitan tarnishes your heart and covers it, you cannot see the truth. You will be blinded by the light. Subhanallah.